Hey there, folks. Welcome to our run of Monsterhearts by Avery Alder. As part of the Gauntlet Reading Club, we'll be drawing on Seanan McGuire's Every Heart a Doorway for inspiration. Before we get into things, I wanted to open with a quick round of introductions. I'm Steven, he, him. I'm the facilitator for the club at the moment and am GMing this run of Monsterhearts. So if we could go by the character keeper order today and introduce yourself, your pronouns, and who you are playing.
Right. My name is Marley, she, her, and I will be playing Grace. Also she, her. She is a Fomorian. She is from a Dungeons and Dragons style world where she was basically one of the dungeon keepers. And she is very resentful about being back. And she also is blind and has albinism.
My name's Sabine. I use any pronouns. I have deleted my name from the little chyron beneath my face because it kind of gets dragged over my face and I don't like that much. So I'm playing Lee. Lee uses they them pronouns, and Lee is a ghost. Lee went to a world that is called the Carnival of Sorrows, where people would go to celebrate their sorrows away and lose any unwanted and harmful emotions. Lee, however, was not one of these people. Lee was one of the sweepers, and they come out during the time of mist when everybody's asleep, and they gather up all the harmful emotions and make sure that they stay gone and are put away, maybe as fertilizer or something. Lee left the carnival because they thought they saw their mother. They learned recently that this was not their mother precisely, but maybe the ghost of their mother's sadness or something like that's still hanging around them. So that's kind of odd. Lee also wants to go home, which is the Carnival of Sorrows and the community of the keepers, where people didn't expect them to be, to be extroverted and things like that. They just expected people to be kind, and that's fine. That's something they can do. Other than that, like being argumentative or confident at other people, that's not something they are very, very happy about. Last time, Lee was attacked by a weird guy with claws, and they rushed off through a door, which was their door, by becoming intangible, but they are still hurt and in the dark right now.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I use she, they pronouns. I will be playing Bailey/Baron, our infernal, who uses he, him pronouns. And he went to a world that we're calling belonging outside of belonging. It was very based in dynamics and being a sort of pet to a master that allowed him to forego a lot of the things that caused him strife in his normal life, with having to lead and follow expectations and come up with all of that himself. It was so much easier to just know that if you listened and followed orders, you were perfect. You didn't have to think, and that was great. Last time, he found out that Helen, a fellow student, possibly, or at least said she killed his master, and that is why he was no longer here in his world where he so desperately wishes, causing a bit of a breakdown that led to some messy feelings, as well as some sex with Jason to try and relieve some of the anguish in his soul.
Hi, and yeah, my name is David. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Jason, who also uses he, him pronouns. Jason was a formerly shy kid who was abducted by songbirds to Mount Olympus, where he was a performer, a singer for the gods, until running afoul of the usual deific spats and was ejected from Olympus by Apollo to find himself back in the mortal world again. Jason, has been generally trying to keep himself the center of attention, though was somewhat taken aback last time whilst had some disturbing visions whilst on the search for a missing student. And yes, indeed, as we sort of wound things down last time, Jason and Bailey ended up in a somewhat awkward encounter that I think is still going to be a source of distraction for Jason as we begin today.
Yeah, and as always, this game is hosted through the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is an online game community mostly focusing on role-playing games of the indie and OSR varieties, besides publishing a zine called the Codex. It also puts out several podcasts about role-playing games, and of course, it organizes a gaming calendar, which this and many other games are organized through every month. The calendar is open to non-members, so feel free to jump on over there through the link below if you're interested in playing with any of the folks here tonight or any of the other people on the Gauntlet. All Gauntlet games make use of an open door policy. We are all here to have fun and tell a story together. If something happens in real life or you become uncomfortable at the table, feel free to step away as long as you need. No one will hold it against you, and you are free to return whenever you feel ready. If you're able to let the group know and if and when you expect to return, that would be helpful for the rest of us in terms of framing scenes, but we understand that sometimes emergencies happen and it's not always possible. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these other tools because we've gone over them multiple times at this point. But besides the open door, we also make use of the safety tools of script change, the X card, and lines and veils. There's more information about those over at the Gauntlet website if you want to find out more about what they are. Cool. So yeah, that takes us through the kind of opening spiel. And now we will kind of jump into things. And so there was a lot of in media res stuff going on when we last left off. I think to preserve I think that where we probably will open things, because I am curious, and it feels like a point where we might want to find out actually who that was. That we had left off on Grace with the dead body of Luz, and after a miss, someone had screamed from the stairway. And I think as we pan up, we see that it is Ian. Ian is another of the students here at the Open Door Academy. We know that he is someone who speaks with a British accent, which we will be doing in the Theater of the Mind because I cannot do a British accent or accents in general, and that reminds Bailey of home. I think that he is looking, Grace, at the two of you shocked. And just so you know, he has that condition terrify that has been floating in this scene. From your keep your cool.
Okay.
And
so
he is,
it's Grace and Sunny's there?
Yep. And he is babbling, and so I is that Luz? Everyone always said that if anyone were to, that the two of you were always just about to murder someone. Don't hurt me. And he is like backing his way up the stairs.
Who's there?
I think Sunny calls out, "It's Ian. He's having a moment."
Okay. Well, if you want to do something useful like get an authority figure, that would be cool.
Yeah, he is. He kind of runs up the stairs, and I mean, I think you probably can hear him shouting something about how you and Sunny murdered Luz. I don't know. It's a bit confused.
Okay. Well, this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it really this is the kind of moment that you really wish you had a shark to feed her to.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I noticed in a way which will give me nightmares forever that she is missing a hand. Um, is it like lying around? Do you see it
Oh,
anywhere?
you don't
I
have
didn't.
it? Hmm.
No, I didn't actually kill her. I just tripped over the body and her stupid bag.
Think that you can't see it, but Sunny gives you a wink.
Mhm.
Uh,
The wink is lost on Grace.
yes, I know. Uh, no, I don't see your hand around anywhere. I just see this weird chalkamajig.
A chokamajig?
Yeah, this chalk drawing of a door.
Oh yeah. I got like this weird feeling like there was a fakey door thing lure bait deal. Did you get a feeling like that? Or maybe you could just see it. Maybe you don't have to get feelings because you can just see things. Sighted people. So much privilege.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can just see it. So are we gonna have like I think it's time that the two of us came up with an alibi. I think the two of us were crocheting together somewhere very far away just before uh Ian came in here.
I mean, okay. I think I was actually at lunch. Was it? I have no sense of time. Was lunch
Yes,
right
this was at
before this?
lunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So like yeah, we were just in the cafeteria when all of this was happening. Was Luz at lunch? I mean, she didn't come like yell at me, so I didn't
Yeah,
actually.
that probably would have been a hint if she wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay. So this probably happened while we were at lunch.
Yeah, and I think that as you're talking, that's when you hear the voice of Mr. Montgomery saying, "My word, what has happened here?"
Found a body.
I I I can see that, and I think he kind of rushes down and is like immediately checking if like there is any sign of life, which of course we know there wasn't. You had checked.
Mm-hmm. Grace is just standing back, giving them some space, covered in blood, not entirely sure what to do about it.
Yeah, and he looks over at you. Now, when Ian came to my office, Grace, he did say that
Saw me with a body.
well, he was a bit more specific than that. He told me that you had done this.
Really? Did he say how?
Uh,
Or did he just make assumptions because he's a bigot?
well, I think he said something about how maybe you and Sunny had keel hauled her. I don't know.
Oh, doesn't that take a keel? I admit I'm not an expert. Sonny, do you not need
I
a keel to keel haul someone?
yeah. I think you need a keel, sir. I am going to. So what we're going to do is I am going to escort the two of you to your rooms, and you're going to remain there for the course of the afternoon, if that is all right.
Delightful.
And we'll be calling in the authorities, I suppose, and they will
You
know
want
what
the
we.
police at the school?
Well, I'll be calling in the headmistress, and she'll hopefully know what to do.
Okay, so I know that Sunny and I are your prime suspects at the moment, but let us entertain for the moment that it's actually very hard for a blind person to murder someone. And perhaps it was, in fact, someone else. So, how do we keep everyone safe if it wasn't the two of us and us just going and having a timeout in our rooms is not actually going to do anything useful?
I think this is shutting him down.
Okay.
Give me a roll here to see if you go over to. Let me also, just for anyone that needs it, we have it here in the dice in the safety tab.
Mm-hmm.
There is the link.
And it's plus cold, right?
Yep.
10.
Cool. So yeah, you shut him down. So first off, there's going to be some narrative implication that he will kind of listen to you here, but it's also that if you look at that move, you get a few options. You can get a string on him because he has no strings on you. You can get +1 forward, or you can give him a condition.
Is the one forward in interactions with him?
No, it just says +1 forward.
Oh. And I can choose when to use that?
No, it's on your next roll. That's
okay.
If it doesn't specify, it's usually to your next roll.
Okay. Well, let's take +1 forward because that just sounds like a useful thing to have in general, especially
Okay.
when one is accused of murder.
Yeah, maybe make a note of that in the condition space that you have
Okay.
+1 forward right now. And he kind of nods and says, "You're right. I think it's best if I'm going to speak with the headmistress about placing a curfew and making certain that students are not left on their own, as I presume poor Luz was when she was left here. But I still think it's very important." And he looks between the two of you. Sunny, could you escort Grace back to her room? See if you can help her clean up.
Fair.
But the rest of the faculty and myself will do everything we can to keep you and the other students safe. You have my word about that, Grace.
Okay. To aid with this whole proving my innocence thing, which I'm assuming you will eventually come around on, could you confirm that neither of us have a severed hand on us?
Are you asking me to search you?
I guess. Look, it's my bag. Look at my bag. It's right here. It has stuff in it. What it doesn't have is a severed hand. So when people are like, where is the severed hand? No one will say, well, Grace and Sunny took it, because you looked and you can say, well, I checked and they didn't take it.
He nods and says, yes, I can confirm that there is not a severed hand here, Grace.
Okay. Good. Now I'm getting sticky, dried blood in uncomfortable places, so I think I would like to go take a shower now.
I wonder how people could think Grace is the murderer.
I really can't imagine.
And I think, yeah,
to be fair, Grace actually does. Her doorway went to a place with death, so
I know. It's just, when you say stuff like that out loud to people. And to kind of shift over here, I am curious of what happened after kind of our fade to black on Jason and Bailey, because I know that Grace left a very pressing voicemail on Bailey's phone. And who even does that? Like, is she 60?
So I guess that's a question for Jason, because I think Bailey would not be the type to immediately disengage and get up. He's definitely like a cuddler, but there's also a chance after all the stress that's happened that he may have fallen asleep after sex. Like, it's been a lot. So it sort of depends, like, does Jason like stay? Does he cuddle and or let Bailey sleep on him, or leave it like on his phone, or does he like leave? What does Jason do?
Yeah, I think definitely in the immediate aftermath, yeah, Jason is probably also inclined to kind of stick around a bit. Is probably, yeah, like probably if Bailey has sort of curled up on him, sort of thing, we'll definitely not be averse to that. So yeah, I guess the two of them are probably lying together, however long it's been.
Yeah, they're probably lying together, and Bailey is just, hand on your chest, up against you, and is just like, you're amazing, Jason. Just absolutely feeding into like all of your adoration desires. Like, he knows what you want and he's happy to give it. This comes naturally to him after all his years.
Thanks, Bailey. And yeah, he is definitely looking incredibly smug at the minute. Not intentionally, but yeah.
No, Bailey will like card his hands through your hair and smirk and say, the curls never do go down, do they?
No, it's only been worse since I went away. And he'll kind of grin.
I'd never use the word worse to describe how you look. That's just foolish. Not that I'm saying you're foolish, of course. I would never do that to you, Jason. I never. And he sort of like tucks his head into like the side of your neck.
I think there's a knock on the door.
Who is it?
Kieran, it's Kieran. And there's like another knock on the door.
Go away, Kieran.
There's more knocks on the door.
Do you think if we just be quiet, he'll go away?
I guess eventually, yeah.
I think there's more knocks on the door. Anyway, I thought you should know, apparently Luz's dad. Ian saying Grace did it in some kind of maniacal death trap. Those are his specific words.
Wait, what? And I think, oh god, Bailey does it. Bailey gets out of bed and immediately flings the door open, and he's, nude as birthday suit. And it's like, what on earth are you talking about, Kieran?
And he looks between you and Jason, and you and Jason.
Grace,
and I think
never.
Jason will, as he's sort of getting up, will kind of grab one of the sheets and just throw it into like an effortless toga as he does so.
God, are you just trying to turn him on in the middle of all this?
Oh yeah, go on.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Why not? It seems the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tis.
Oops. That's a 6.
No.
Oh, okay. So at least you get to finally mark your first experience, Jason.
Yeah.
You're finally your first experience. Finally all grown up. Yeah. So let me see here. I think that Jason, like, Kieran has just got here, Bailey, and Jason is already, he's already seeming to flirt with this other guy while he's in your bed.
Jason is just getting this luck, and Bailey just turns and looks at Kieran up and down and is like, Grace didn't do it. She's not like that, and she also doesn't have a secret torture chamber. I thought you were smarter than this, Kieran. And then he just slams the door right in Kieran's face.
Oh man, give me a roll to shut someone down here.
Yeah. -1 cold, -1 cold. Oof, that's a 5.
Oh, we're getting all our XP finally. Maybe somebody will actually
I'm hopeful.
advance.
I've got 4 out of 5. I'm hopeful.
Yep. Yeah, I think Kieran, like, yeah, I think, like, what does he say here? I think that, like, he shouts in through the door. Look, just because you and Grace think you are so special having secret rooms in the basement does not mean that the rest of us don't notice.
Oh my god, Kieran, can't you tell when you're not wanted and just leave? I bet this is why they got rid of you from your world.
Oh. And yeah, I think he shouts back, and I can see that if Jason has the poor taste to want someone like you, why they didn't want him in his. And you can hear him stomping away. And I am giving, just to play off these misses here, Jason has the condition tasteless.
And Bailey is just fuming.
And Bailey is unwanted.
Oh, the heartbreak. Yeah, Bailey punches the goddamn wall, just like right next to him. Like that rage and just, yeah. Just boiling inside of him. And, oh God, he's not going to think, is he? He's so angry. Oh God, okay. So you're gonna see this, Jason. Oh boy. Yeah, Bailey is just fuming. And I am going to use Elsewise power.
Mm-hmm.
And you oh God, he's so angry. And he's gonna take the witch's hex move. And you're gonna see his, like, Jason, you're gonna watch all of a sudden as like Bailey's eyes sort of like roll into the back of his head, and his mouth is saying nonsense, just utter nonsense, which makes no sense. He comes from a logical world, you know this. And all of Kieran's hair is gonna fall out.
I think that is a roll though, right?
Oh yes, to be fair, I do have to roll. Yes. Well, this is what he's going for. We're gonna see how this goes, because we're gonna see. Let's see. So I also have, what do I have in dark? I have 2. I have plus 2. I'm either gonna level up or 10. Yeah. No, yeah, all of his hair falls out.
Cool. And this was the
So this is the witch's hex move.
Right.
And specifically it is wither.
Right. That's what the word I was looking for. I was just reminding myself of it. Yeah, I mean, he's on the other side of the door, so
well, he walked a few feet away.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying that, like, you don't see that, but we'll see what
Bailey knows. He knows his master wouldn't let lead him astray.
Yeah, does any of that concern Jason?
Yeah, I think Jason is going to walk over to Bailey and sort of put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Are you okay, Bailey? You seem a little..." And yeah, it's just going to kind of, like, gingerly, because this is kind of weird, but is going to try and sort of comfort him.
Yeah, and oh, that's perfect. And Bailey sort of, I guess, comes back to himself, you know, and he leans against Jason and he like sort of huffs a sign. He's like, "Sorry, I just got really, he can say whatever he wants about me, but the fact that he brought you into it is just so untrue. And it's not, I'm whatever, but you're wonderful, Jason, and he shouldn't think to even deign to say otherwise."
And I think that there's a voice besides. You know, you have something he wants, Bailey. And you remember those tickets you still have in your pocket.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's forget him and whatever he was even saying. I don't even remember anymore. Let's just go. Hey, and he'll reach into his pocket and he'll pull out the tickets. Let's just leave right now. Let's just go. Whatever show they have on, let's go see it.
Sure. Let's do it. I mean, if someone's been murdered, it's not like there'll be classes anyway. Right.
Yeah, right. Someone was murdered. Sure,
Though,
yeah.
I am like 50-50 on it being Grace.
Grace wouldn't have gotten caught, Jason. It wasn't her. And I think Bailey will like walk over to his closet and pull out a pair of like tight leather pants and start slipping them on. It's like what he, what do you, and then he'll put on the pants, or like he'll start to, and then he'll pause and he'll look at Jason and a big smile will come over his face. And he's like, "Actually, Jason, do you want to pick out what I'll wear? Or what would you like me in?"
Sure thing. And he'll kind of look Bailey up and down. Though
I want to ask here, Bailey, are you offering Jason a string to actually like tell you what to wear?
Yeah, sure. Take the XP.
Cool. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm just because just to actually get some of these theoretical XP into actual XP.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I think Jason will absolutely do so. He'll say, those are certainly a good start, and then he'll start kind of rifling through Bailey's wardrobe.
Yeah, indeed. Finds a kitty shirt. Yeah, and he'll happily do. And then I imagine Bailey's room isn't that high up, and he's like, they're probably gonna be watching the doors. I don't usually do this, but I did it once before because someone asked. And he'll open the window, and you'll see that there's actually like a tree pretty well placed right there, and it's not even hard, and they can just like shimmy out and go.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna ask you what you dress Bailey in our next scene, Jason. Just as a heads up.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
There will be a pop quiz.
Yes, and Lee, when we last left off, you had fallen into the darkness, and you had just been gathered up into the arms of your ghostly mother.
Oh no, that is very odd.
Yeah,
that is very odd. It's a very odd feeling.
And I think that what does Lee's home like? What is like the moment where Lee actually enjoyed life at home when it wasn't loud and chaotic?
Late at evening, I guess, when the other kids were all asleep and Lee had woken up, and I just was wandering the house in search of gossip or something, and was then watching her parents watch television because they were exhausted in the evenings and didn't do much but watch television because all these kids, and they both had very high octane jobs, so mostly their father fell asleep and their mother was, I don't know, looking at some magazines, like not really looking, leafing through the magazines, and more looking at the TV and just being there, being a bit of exhausted and not noticing Lee, but Lee could watch her, and that was nice because they felt there was a connection, even though their mother never knew that.
Yeah, and I think in the background, playing over the TV, we see images of the Carnival of Sorrows playing on the screen. And your mother looks up at you, Lee. I'm glad we had this time together, Lee.
How is that possible? How's this possible? You are not really my mother. How are you?
And she shrugs. Aren't I? I'm the part that was always... I'm the part that kept all those sad moments, the worries about you being hurt, all those worries that she couldn't carry with her through the day because she was too busy.
Really? That I didn't know that you even existed.
It's easy to miss.
I guess. I'm sorry.
And she...
Can you help me get back?
Let me tell you this way, Lee. Do you know how many times I, the mother out there, and I think the screen flickers, and it is the vision of your home as it actually was. How many times she visited the Carnival of Sorrows at night. She visited it every night for a year, and every night I got stronger and stronger until finally I was strong enough to drag you out with me.
But I didn't want to go.
She puts her hand on your cheek. I love you too much to care about that, Lee.
I love you too. Lisa was crying because their mother has never told them that they love them, mostly through being overwhelmed with work and the other stuff, but still. And they will hug the ghost of their mother's sadness, I guess.
How does, as you lean your body into her, how does it remind you? How does her scent remind you of the Carnival of Sorrows?
It's the scent. It's the scent of the mist. Basically, the mist smells like tears. Sometimes, at least, and that's what she smells like. So that feels kind of like home, and also feels like my mother. So it's actually quite perfect.
And yeah, I'm just.
Can I stay here with you? I don't want to go back. I don't belong there. They won't miss me.
I think she looks at you and says, "They wouldn't." I wouldn't exist if they didn't miss you, Lee.
I mean, those. Also, I'm bleeding. Just maybe I'll die.
I can't do anything for that for you here. I can.
I don't care. I just want to stay here with you. Please. You said you love me.
I think that there's a moment when you say, when she says, "No, I can't see that again. You'll have to come with me, Lee."
Okay.
And she opens the door.
Where are we going?
And yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm wondering, what does the path out of this house look like?
I think it's maybe is it back to school?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just dark, I guess.
It's
There's nothing much to see. There is a bit of a wind. It's not quite pleasant because it's kind of warm-y, too warm. It's kind of a headache wind.
She looks out. It's dark out there. And she reaches into her chest and pulls out a heart. And it glows with the faint, misty glow of the carnival. This should help you.
You really want me to go? Well then, if even you don't want me. Even you don't want me, he turns around and runs off. Without the heart.
Oh, okay. This is definitely we're hitting on this again. This is a runaway here.
Yeah, okay. I don't have my moves thing open, but I will. And runaway is with
Volatile.
Oh well, that's what I'm really good at. Very volatile, as you could see. There we go. Oh, I haven't had a die. I always forget to add dice. It's a 9. Whee!
Cool. So on a 9, you choose one. You run into something worse, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind.
Oh, I leave something behind. Obviously, the heart. If that's cool.
No, yeah.
I could also run into something worse, but
Oh no, I think that's wonderful. Where do you think Lee wants to end up when they emerge back at school?
Probably somewhere that is even a little familiar. That feels probably their own room. That makes maybe the most sense, or maybe somewhere where she uses to sit and watch people because they never really notice her anyway. So maybe she's in the foyer where everybody's coming and going, and maybe that's where she ends up on her favorite kind of perch to look at people, what they're doing. Well, they can see them.
Mm-hmm. And I think as you sort of emerge it back into the world, we sort of see Lee flicker in. As you come back, maybe some time has passed because Jason and Bailey are going out. Grace is has been escorted back and is getting cleaned up. I think maybe it is like not the day anymore when you get back, but it's now evening.
Yeah, that seems fair. Good.
And you can see that the foyer that is usually fairly bustling after class is empty. There's a tension in the air. It feels like that something's happened in the time you were gone.
Yeah, and for a second or two, Lee hopes that this is because they were gone, right? Maybe somebody was worried. Yeah, right. So I guess she'll go and find maybe Grace, because they had a fight before, but you know, Grace has always noticed her at least. So.
Mm-hmm. And Grace, could you describe for us what your room is like? Well, I guess, yeah, give us a description. I'm going to ask some other people to add some details.
Okay. So Grace's room is very carefully ordered. Probably not in a way that makes sense to other people, but basically everything has its place so that she always knows where to find it. She has various gadgets around. Mostly her phone is her big thing, but like also some ways to like to deal with books and stuff like that. So not like paper books or anything like that, but but like a braille reader and stuff like that. In her closet, there's clothes that are all identical. They're all black cargo pants with lots of pockets and comfortable long sleeve shirts. There are in fact traps on the door, which she is even now. She has cleaned herself up, and Sunny has confirmed she got all the blood. She is in fact going through and checking all of her traps and probably even taking them up a notch because she knows that there is a murderer somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And it's on that moment that Lee just like phases through your door.
Don't think
Is she a knocking?
She's
Okay.
a knocking person. She is a knocking person. She does not. Lee
Okay.
does not just barge into people's room.
Okay. But I'm
No.
wondering, I'm just going to throw this out to kind of again do the Brindlewood Bay thing here. What unexpected thing is here in Grace's room, Jason?
I think I had one idea, but I thought no, yeah, I think I'm going to go with there is a framed picture of Lee with her family, but it's not put somewhere where it's like on display. It's just sort of been left somewhere.
Mm-hmm. What else is there in here, Bailey?
So I think there is actually a rather worn stuffed animal. In fact, I think it's Winnie the Pooh, which is like, what? But it is, and it's worn, and it's probably something that they've had since they were a baby.
And what else is in here, Lee?
I think what is surprising is that Grace has a collection of yarn. I mean, that's not so surprising because she does embroidery, right? But it's the only really purposefully colorful thing in this place. There are tiny stickers on them so she can feel the colors in braille. But yeah, because if you want to do embroidery, sometimes you might want to use colors, because if she's doing it with Sunny and Sunny says, this is a pirate ship and there needs to be blood in there, take this yarn, it's blood red, and put it in there because that's the thing. And yeah, but I don't think Grace uses that a lot, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Lee knocks on the door.
Grace's voice is a little bit choked, but she says, "Who's there?"
Lee, it's me. I'm back.
Oh, just a second. And she wipes her eyes on the back of her sleeve, and kisses her Winnie the Pooh on the top of her head and tucks it back in the corner. She has been also having a good cry now that the moment has passed. She's actually had a chance to, be upset about the whole thing. And yes, Sunny has left.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Sunny wasn't really needed all that much. It was mostly just a matter of, did I get all the blood off? So Yeah, and then she goes and she hits the two spots on the wall you have to hit to deal with the um, with the electrical volts. And then she unlocks the door and opens it. Oh, and then remembers she should flick on the light, so she does.
Hey, so I guess I wasn't missed then.
I mean, you ran off. I thought you wanted some time to yourself.
Yeah, I guess I did. I was just I think I was losing track of time maybe a little. And yeah, everything's fine. I guess something's wrong with all, right? And I was attacked.
Wait, you were attacked? What?
Yeah. And she lifts her arm, which Grace can't see, but Lee doesn't remember that at that moment.
I think though that the claw marks are easily felt because you are to harm.
Yeah. If Grace wants to touch her, then sure she will. She might even smell the blood on Lee because that's to harm you, probably. And claw marks, that says blood to me. Yeah, I was attacked.
You're attacked by. Here, come in. And she tries to like pull Lee in and shut the door behind her, and quickly hits the arms and traps again. You were attacked? Are you hurt?
Yes, a little.
You are? Where?
My arm, my shoulder. He hit me. He had claws like a cat. I think remember the thing with the calico cat, or was that Jason who was there with me? Maria wrote something about, or said something about the calico cat, and I think that was who attacked me. He was very strange.
This is all news to me. So are you bleeding? Do you want the first aid kit?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. First aid kit. She goes and she gets some stuff. And if she's bleeding, she will go and she said she was bleeding. She will go and take something out of the corner that's very carefully wrapped in a cloth, and it's a little piece of moss. She says this does really well on blood, but you don't want to leave it on longer than 6 hours, or it will start to fuse your skin. So yeah, take it off.
Okay.
Very parasitic. Very handy in the short term, very bad in the long term. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I give it back. It's really, yeah. It's amazing. Like I had it the other day, and like then I thought it was dying, like something happened to it, and then it started getting like growing really fast. I don't know.
That was very odd.
Yeah, it's strange, but I mean, I've never tried to grow these things here, so I don't know. Stuff is going on. Did you come straight here from wherever you were?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I went through a door. It wasn't my door. Just went to a strange place and I encountered something not important. And then I came to the lobby and nobody was there. And I thought maybe, I didn't know how long I was gone. I thought maybe someone missed me.
So it's the evening. I should probably let you know I've been accused of murder, I think.
Okay.
I actually did not murder them.
Okay.
I would like to think I would have done a better job of it. But as a matter of fact, that is not a thing I did.
Who was murdered but not dead?
Lulz
Oh.
got killed.
Oh. Oh.
And I found the
how?
body, so everything's lining up to point at me.
Huh?
Except I think there was some stuff with so I called Bailey wasn't answering, so I called Sunny, and she said that there was this chalk door outline nearby, and it had this sort of feel of a false door, magic-y, cursey, maybe something, I don't know. And she was missing her hand, so that was exciting too.
Yeah. Okay.
So very glad you are okay, because that could have been a lot worse. Do you think the thing that attacked you might have been the thing that, God, I hope it was the thing that went after Lulz. Otherwise, there's two of them, and that's even worse.
There was a door when I met this cat person guy. He said it wasn't my door. Then he said vague things about my door and all the doors, and I forgot most of it really because I was he attacked me, and I'm not used to being attacked by people.
Okay. Yeah.
And I forgot what he said, most of it, but it was about a door. And I went through the door, not open door, go through door, close door, but walk through door, which might be the wrong way of doing it.
But it wasn't your door. It
wasn't my door. No.
It was someone else's? Do you know whose? Where did it go?
No, I don't. It went to a weird place that looked a bit like my old home. It was probably no one's door. It was just a weird place. But I wasn't wanted there either, so I came back. I guess this is the only place I can go. The only place I know I can go.
Yeah, that's the truth. In the school with murderers. This is awesome.
Is it? Okay, I don't.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, sorry. I usually am better at picking this up, but I am a bit.
Yeah, we've both been having a day. I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so your attacker, as far as we know, is still out there and possibly also went after Lulz.
What about Maria?
I don't know what to do about that. Sorry?
What about Maria? She's missing? Is she still missing? Did she turn up? Do you know
that? No. I was sent right back here after they found me with the body. And Bailey still hasn't answered his phone.
Yeah, well, probably something else, something more important to do.
Yeah. Does he though? Does he have something more important to do?
I don't understand him. I try, but he's just.
He presumably does not know about the murder, or he would call. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think as you talk here, there is the sound of scratching at a door, of Grace's door. Like not your door, but the door to your room door.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, is Lee in there? And Lee, you recognize that voice.
Who's that?
It's me, Lee, your friend, the one that's trying to help you. Mamoru.
And I turn to Grace and say, that's the one who attacked me. And I say a bit louder. You have a funny way of helping me.
Well, I guess you better come in then.
All right. I'm glad we can see eye to eye on this. And I'm going to treat this as a lash out physically here. Even though you're using traps, this is
Yeah.
probably not.
No, she's totally trying to get him to set off the traps.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That probably means I need some dice. I failed to use my +1 forward. May I use it now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Lash out physically is with volatile. How's my volatile? Oh, it's +1. Okay. This could happen. And another +1 is +2. 12.
Cool. And do you want to activate your ruling over ashes here?
Ooh. Yes. Yes, we are absolutely ruling over ashes. One could argue it's not actually overkill since we already know Lee was attacked by this guy and possibly he killed another student. But
I mean, maybe not unnecessary force, but overkill probably. Like, I assume Grace has overkill on these traps.
yes, she has in fact been dialing them up since she's been freaked out.
And I'm wondering, so you have two options there. You can either deal 1 extra harm or gain a string on a character.
Yeah, let's keep it straightforward. I think it's an extra harm.
Cool.
I feel like that's most in appropriate in this context. What would have happened?
So yeah, the door handle, you can see it turn very slowly, very carefully, and the door starts to swing open. And what are these traps?
So I think the one that she's got on this particular door is as it swings open, the electric volts start shooting through the doorknob. So yeah, he gets a pretty serious and painful electrical shock that would incapacitate and seriously harm a person.
Yeah, and I think you hear through the door a rather wild yowl. A yowl of like a kind of wild cat. And a harsh breathing from the other side. You can hear that he's pulled away from the door, and you can hear his voice weakly. That was a very bad idea.
So are you the one who killed that student? Do you know what happened to Maria?
Maria. Maria is here. I haven't been able to find her.
Good.
I am simply trying to help your friend.
Well, fundamentally it's up to her, but from where I'm standing, your kind of help is not the kind that they want.
I don't want that kind of help where you nearly ripped my arm off. I like my arm.
How, Lee, do you think you will find your door? If not for this. Have you wondered why it hasn't appeared for you again? Why you haven't wanted it enough? I'm helping with that. I told you it would be dangerous.
Didn't tell me that I had to die to go through my door. don't
I
think that's
told you.
true. I think you're a liar.
I think that you need to be hurt. I think that you need to be scared. Scared enough to want it with all your heart.
Is
You
that what
have
you
no
said to
idea.
Lucida?
You have no idea who I am, you cursed cat. You have no idea what I'm suffering. Please understand this. I want it with all my heart. I don't want it your way. So please go away, leave me alone, leave the students of the school alone, and play your sick little games somewhere else. I'm trying to shut him down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. That definitely sounds like a shut someone down here. So give me a roll.
Yeah. And that is with cold, right?
Yep.
Yep, it's 12.
Cool. So fictionally, there's stuff that will happen here, but you can either spend, you can either get a string because he does not have any on you. You can give him a condition, or take +1 forward.
I think, can I give him the I want to know, I wonder if it's a good idea, probably not, to give him the condition intrigued.
I mean, just because it's not a good idea doesn't mean it's not something that Sabine will do.
Yeah, it is totally something Sabine will do. It's not something Lee would have wanted, but you know.
I think, yeah, you're giving him the condition intrigued, and there's a pause from the other side of the door. I had thought that this world was going to be so very boring until I found my way to a new one. But it looks like we'll be having some fun after all. And there's a scratching of claws. And when the door swings open more fully, you can see that there's just a trail of kind of too bright blood that is brighter and more vivid than any real blood ever is.
And Lee murmurs, "You are boring. You're just a mean old cat." Damn it. I hate it when they make me do stuff like that. I sit down, like yelling at people. I told you I don't do that. Mean it.
So is he gone?
As far as you can tell.
Okay.
Like, the door's open and there's just a trail of blood leading away from your room.
Yeah. That was actually in character. Grace is asking.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a trail of weird blood over there, but yeah, he's gone. He's not there.
Trails of blood. Hopefully it's things. Okay.
It's not mine. Mine isn't that bright. It
Okay.
looks really, it's not the right color for blood. There's something wrong. You can tell that it's not human blood.
Okay. Well, clearly I need to up my traps because that was supposed to drop him.
You have traps in your door.
I do have traps in my door.
Wow. That was actually good. A good thing to have traps in your door.
It's the nice thing is about having traps in your door. You don't have to set them off, but sometimes it's good that they're there.
I guess, yeah. I'm glad that I knocked and didn't just go through the door. I don't know if that would have even set them off, but would have been impolite anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think we should tell anyone about this?
I was just trying to figure that out. I mean, they already know something's up with bodies and stuff like that. So unless you can think of a reason we would want to keep this private, I guess we tell people.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't think of a reason that we would keep this private. That doesn't seem to be something that came from some grown-ups.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably
Mr.
they can.
Montgomery was the one who
Yeah,
was investigating or something like that.
I don't feel that hopeful, but you never know.
Yeah. I figure at least telling people to watch out for this Mamaru guy is probably smart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think, is this where we kind of fade to black, or? And I'm
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
wondering, and I'm wondering, while we fade to black, I'm curious, Lee, do you think that any of this has helped you resolve that condition yearning for now?
I think it had helped me resolve the condition cowardly.
Cool.
Yearning, I'm not too sure about because I still want to go home. But I think I've got over the cowardly when I yelled at Mamaru.
Yeah. Because I'm bringing it up because as a reminder for folks, you do get to mark XP if you once you clear that yearning condition.
Okay, yeah. Oh, right. So maybe I've cleared it. No, I don't do this just for the XP. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm still a bit. I mean, I have other things on. Maybe I've cleared. No, look, I've cleared it because right now I'm not thinking that much about the carnival. I'm mostly thinking about that Mamaru guy.
Yeah.
And what's going on with him. So.
And so, what I was going to ask is, I think that Grace, in helping you stand up to Mamaru, helped resolve it, so they can also mark an experience.
Yeah, that's. Thank you for reminding us.
Nice. Fourth XP, so close.
I know, the Monsterhearts XP can come at a drip when you're rolling well. But yeah, we flash over to the House of Blues. And I think that it is a bit, well, unexpected maybe from Bailey's perspective. But and maybe from Jason's as well. But the House of Blues, as you enter, seems to not so much be describing like the style of music played here, but rather just that everything inside is in a shade of various blues. And as you come in, I'm wondering, quite surreptitiously, not surreptitiously, what's the word? As a stroke of good luck, I'm wondering, is there like not like a big band, but is there a band that Jason enjoys that just happens to be playing tonight?
Yeah, I think there's maybe like I said, not a big band, but like a one that has sort of a measure of like local celebrity that I think Jason has been kind of is aware of, and
Cool. Do they have a particular look or style that stands out to Jason?
I want to say they're kind of like punk adjacent, post-punk, something like that. But yeah, I think a fairly yeah, not like full on kind of Sex Pistols kind of thing, but they're maybe a bit more in the like something punky, I think.
Cool. And as you come in, a older woman in her 40s or 50s, dressed in a magnificent blue dress, dangling topaz earrings and necklace. Well, not topaz. No, is it topaz? I forget. Yes,
Sapphire?
turquoise. Yes, turquoise earrings and necklace dangling from her neck. Hair gray, but like with a kind of blue highlight streaked across it. She swoops down to the two of you and says, "Oh, welcome to the House of Blues, young folks. I'm Miss Gelyeva, the owner of this little establishment. Is this your first time here?"
Yes, it is. It's mine, at least. Have you been here before, Jason?
No, not yet. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have on offer.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, you must have a front row seat. We've saved it just for you. And then she stops herself. I mean, for people whose first time it is here.
Oh, that's really wonderful. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Jason's a musician himself, quite a talented one.
Oh, well, a musician yourself. Well, I can. And she leans in close to you, Jason. "I'm a friend with the band that's playing tonight. Maybe if I ask, they might look for someone to be their guest frontman just for tonight."
Well, if they're looking for some new talent, I'm always on the lookout for opportunities to get out there.
He's really being too humble. He's amazing. His words are like poetry, and everything he sings just wraps around your heart and holds it tight.
Oh man, are you trying to turn Jason on here?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. That is an 11. So I get a Jason string, and then you get a choice.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for promising something that I think you want, and I think Jason is going to grin and say, I knew there was a reason I kept you around. And he'll smile at the lady and say, yes, it's some very kind of him to say, but yes, I do. I do enjoy performing. And then we'll turn back to Bailey and say, and I'll have to I have to think of some way to pay you back for this later, Bailey.
Yeah,
and
of course. I mean,
we'll kind of give him a wink.
We had
Yeah.
forgotten to ask, what did Jason dress Bailey in tonight?
Yeah, so I think, like I said, kept the leather trousers there, and I think for that kind of classic, new romantic look type thing with the big, like, flowy white shirt over the top. I can't remember. Was it established before? Does Bailey wear like a collar?
yes.
Yeah, and I think very deliberately picked a like I said, one of those kind of those. I'm imagining one of those shirts that like ties up at the front rather than buttons, and very deliberately left it unlaced so that the collar is on display, and a pair of big, like, tall leather boots, which are probably unnecessary really over the leather trousers, but is a pair of those over the trousers, and I think Jason dressed like himself from Bailey's wardrobe as well, because he was already there, kind of thing, and I think he's just gone for kind of like a very tight pair of jeans and a tight t-shirt.
And as Miss Gelayeva directs you over to the table, she grabs Bailey by the arm and looks down at, because she is a fairly tall woman, she looks down at you. Oh, I can see you have feelings for this boy, don't you?
And yeah, some red will cover over Bailey's cheeks, and he'll just sort of nod a little.
Well, a friend of a friend gave me this to give to you. And she reaches into a kind of blue handbag, and she pulls out a beautiful blue rose. Thorn, like still thorned and looking like it was fresh cut.
Does it remind me of the flower from before?
No, this I think, in that they're both flowers, yes, but this is not a flower that has the feel of Jason's world to it. This has something of the feeling, I think. Well, yeah, it has something of the feeling of yours.
Okay,
The
yeah.
scent of it.
Yeah, and I think Bailey will smile.
A gift for your little beau. And she cocks a lopsided grin at you.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. We used to walk past these all the time on walks. These are great. We had them planted all over the house. Thank you. And if I don't know how, if you see him, tell him I miss him. But he just like looks up with her with like wide eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dear, our mutual friend is always closer than you know. And she gives you a little pat on the shoulder. Now, don't keep him waiting.
No, you're right. I would never. And he like immediately goes off, and he probably like takes the flower without even realizing, probably pricks himself a little, and just almost ignores it though, because he's excited, and he says, Jason, I did want to bring this over for you. Something I feel like this suits you a lot more than the other night. Just be careful. It's a little, or I could, here. And he'll try to like tuck it into the shirt or like clip it to the shirt maybe.
Yeah. Jason will let him do so.
It smells really good. Like home.
Thank you. It's lovely, and it's nice to be here with you. It's good to be out of that school. It's it can be a
Suffocating.
yes.
Not the right kind. And Bailey sort of sighs and like he's gonna smile and say, "So you really like this band, right?" And you'll notice he's not like is Jason sitting in the seats?
Yeah, I think so.
And you'll notice Bailey is not sitting in the seat next to you, sort of standing a little awkwardly.
And I think Jason will kind of offer a hand and sort of pull him down next to him.
Into the chair, or
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think he falls into the seat, and at first he looks a little disjointed and uncomfortable for the first time tonight.
And I think seeing that, Jason is going to almost kind of like bring him down so that his essentially his head's resting in his lap, in a more not in a provocative way, rather as a
sort of comforting.
Yeah.
And I think Bailey takes a couple deep breaths, and you can almost see like the gears turning in his head as he sort of like he even maybe mumbles as you write, I'm not up here because I sit up here. I'm here because this gives good access to be where Jason wants me, and that's where I need to be. Just like that. And he like scooches a little closer, and his breathing sort of evens out some, and you can tell he's calming down, and that the closeness certainly does help.
Yeah, and I think it's then that the leader of the band says, and we hear here tonight there is special talent, a certain Jason. Why don't you come on up here and show us what you can do?
And I think Jason will kind of smile and stand up and say, if you're willing to have me, then certainly I'd love to sing a song for everyone here tonight.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is almost like one of those moments where it's like a kind of, it's like one of those really like kind of heavily stylized kind of sequences of you coming up on stage. It all feels very kind of, sort of almost surreal through being hyper real. Like everything's just too bright, too like the kind of smoke in the air is too laced with provocative sense. And why don't you give me a roll here with your haunting melody?
Sure thing. That's a 7.
And I'm going to be spending that string that the master has on you here, Jason, to knock that down to a 6.
Fair.
So go ahead and mark an XP. And I think, why don't you tell me, how do you start to play here? Or are you singing?
I think maybe Jason is singing, but yeah, I think it's like clear that he's just not suited to this style of band. Essentially, his he's singing too much essentially for kind of a more punk band.
Yeah, and you start to feel, you don't know if at first you think it's just the smoke, but you feel a bit lightheaded, a bit like it's too much. And I think you look down at that rose that was put into your shirt, and you see that there is blood seeping through your shirt where it's attached to you, and it's turned a bright red. And mark 1 harm for me.
Yeah, and I think Jason will kind of look like shocked at this, but it will completely throw him off in the middle of the song as he kind of starts looking down to see how badly hurt he's been, as it were.
Yeah. And Bailey, while this is going on, it's finally then that you feel your phone start to vibrate.
Yeah. And Bailey's slipped off the chair onto the floor because he can't without the presence there. And he pulls out his phone and keeps like trying to like look and watch because he wants to give Jason his undivided attention. And he doesn't even like read the exact text. It's like, I heard that Luce dies. It's whatever. I know you didn't do it, but I'm busy right now. Jason needs me. I'm with Jason, and that's really important.
Yeah, and so I'll remind folks that we are cell phones and stuff are like a valid part of life, and so Grace is actually, it does actually specify as an idea in the rules that you can't always try to do things like shut people down, turn them on, pull strings on them through like things like text messages. And I'm wondering if Grace responds to this to this kind of like, yeah, whatever, somebody died.
I think she's kind of annoyed by that. Yeah, so I'm inclined to say that she's going to try and shut him down. Yeah, what did she say exactly? Well, let's see how the roll goes, and then we'll figure out what she says exactly. But okay, and that's with cold. And do either of my... Nope. And my moves don't have anything to do with that.
So... Yeah, they don't help you. They
okay.
The ruling over ashes could apply here because it doesn't necessarily say that you apply like overkill violence. Like if you really wanted to just say something completely mean and uncalled for here, like that would be ruling over ashes, for example.
Mm-hmm. She will text. So I rolled a 10. Oh, thanks for finally replying, asshole. I've been trying to make sure you're still alive. Lee survived her attack, and I'm accused of murder, but please, go on listening to Jason.
So which of those options, first off, are you picking from the shut someone down?
Bailey has some interesting string-related conditions, right? Is there anything there we want to poke? She already has 3 strings on Bailey.
Say, he has unwanted and what was it? Chastened.
Okay. Unwanted, chastened. And let's hit him with guilty.
Okay, so you're gonna give me the condition guilty. Okay.
Because that was a raging guilt trip right there.
Yeah. You hit him with guilty, but I think he gets some of it, but he's in the throes of Jason right now. And sort of everything that comes with that and this position and pedestal. And he just gets frustrated and upset. And yeah, he leaves you clearly on red. And I am going to spend string. And I have a string on Grace that I'm going to spend to give you the condition. And let me know if there's a better phrasing for this. But I was thinking like not as important or lesser.
Lesser sounds pretty good.
Yeah, lesser. I'm going to give you the condition lesser. And I think the text or split. Does he leave her on red? No, I think so. The response is it's just not as important. Like you said, you didn't do it and Lee's fine. You're interrupting something more important. Stop it.
Cool. So Bailey pulled a string on you, so just add lesser to your conditions here. That's one of the things you can do with strings.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, is it at that point that Jason comes down from the stage?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Bailey looks up because he'd been texting, so he sort of missed some of that, and he slips the phone away because he doesn't want Jason to think he wasn't paying attention. And he's like, "Wait, why are you coming down?"
And yeah, Jason clearly looks both shocked, but also angry underneath that as well. So this band sucks anyway. Come on, let's get out of here.
And do you take that rose off that's clearly biting into you?
Yes, and I think I cut myself on this rose.
Yeah, Bailey.
I think as you look at it, Bailey, there's a voice, and Bailey, as I said before, you remember how I told you you were eating the wrong things?
Yes. Yeah.
Here's the right thing, Bailey. I want you to eat that.
The petals?
All of it.
Won't that hurt me?
Do you want to help me or not, Bailey? And I'm spending that string on you.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you spend the string, and you see this moment, Jason, where Bailey, it looks like he's lost in his head for a second. His eyes glaze, and then all of a sudden he sort of comes back and leans and grabs the rose that you threw on the ground, and his hand is getting cut and he's shoving it into his mouth, and is cutting his like lips a bit.
Yeah,
and,
mark one harm.
yeah, as he just eats the rose. Also, I got an XP, which means I
And
level up.
actually, I think I want to ask: do you? I think that this might be a case where do you think you're keeping your cool? You need to keep your cool here.
Oh, me? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Does he keep his cool? Yeah, sure. I'll roll that.
So, what are you afraid of here?
So I think he's afraid of two things, sort of. They're very similar, though. He's afraid of disappointing Jason, but also obviously disappointing or upsetting his master.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the sort of two things. Like he wants them both to be happy, and he wants them both to want him, and he wants to have them both. Oh, 10.
Oh, yes. You eat it, and it cuts your mouth. So that I think is just fictionally appropriate, where there's no getting around that.
Mm-hmm.
But it tastes delicious. It tastes like it occurs to you. It tastes like the best food you ever had. And it occurs to you, it also tastes like Jason. And that's very good, Bailey. That's very good. That is wonderful. Maybe you should get close to Jason. See if you can taste him like that again.
So, as part of rolling a 10 on a keep your cool, I also get to do something else, which is gain insight and ask the MC a question about the situation and take one forward to addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh God, I'm so sorry. The question, I think, the insight is, I want insight into in this moment is, how do I get Jason to understand that I need this?
Yeah. I think honestly, just sort of explaining the situation to him, because I think, like, obviously Jason is aware of like is aware that people have gone through lots of different experiences with their own worlds and like. So I think that just this is definitely I think a situation where just kind of actually being open with him is probably the best way of making him see that.
Yeah. And so I think that happens, and he gets this insight, and Bailey goes up to Jason and presses himself against him and leans against him and says, "Yeah, let's get out of here. I want to talk to you more about something more important and a little more explanatory about some things, but I promise you'll enjoy it. It'll be good." And he's gonna lean down and is going to pull up this shirt and lick right over where the cut is. Are you talking?
So you're straight into turning someone on?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, give me a roll with hot, but add +1 here. And I guess if you want to hit on shameless again.
Yeah, this is
Or
fucking.
unashamed.
Yeah, take a string. This is unashamed. This is completely, absolutely unashamed. They are in a bar. Oh, thank God. That's a 9.
Okay.
Because
So yeah, Jason, take a string on Bailey, and I'll also add one.
Yeah, okay.
Like, because we both get one, because you need to use your elsewise power for that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you both get a string.
Yeah, awesome.
And then what do you give me with that 9?
I think Jason Jason is going to shiver a little under the touch and say, "Good. I'm going to hold you to that." And I think he will kind of, as he says that, put his finger through the loop on the collar.
Yeah, and Bailey's just going to say, they don't appreciate you like I do. They could never understand how wonderful you are. And we'll let you lead him out, because he's certainly not going to lead. But you do see for a moment he does sort of glance a little guiltily at his pocket, but then goes back to focusing on you.
Mm-hmm. And I think we fade to black there. So thanks anyone for watching. I think we'll sign off here.